Hello, I'm Bernie Hayes. Today we have Dr. Larry A. Brown, who will be discussing a brand new book and his ministry today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes, and my guest is Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown, how are you, sir?
I'm just fine, Bernie. Thanks for having me.
Man, we go back a long, long way, don't we?
We certainly do. Before the gray hairs.
Yes. You know, but I'm used to calling you Reverend Brown.
You can call me anything. I would prefer to be called brother.
Well, we are that.
All right.
But you're also Dr. Brown, Larry Brown, and you're also Reverend Brown, Larry Brown. And a new member of the National Board of the National Black Radio Hall of Fame. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Larry, you have a brand new book.
Well, yes.
Thoughts for a Positive Life.
I retired recently, and during my retirement, I penned that book, and it became available on May 31st of this year.
Okay. And tell us what it's about.
The basis of it is basically this. It's called Thoughts for a Positive Life. And the basis of it is this, that people need to have as many positive experiences as possible because it makes them feel better and do better. And oftentimes they need to overcome adversities. And this life, no matter what your status in life is, no matter who you are, where you are, at what level you are, and what you're doing, you're going to need some uplift from time to time. And that's what this book does. It's readable, it's small enough, and it's sectioned enough so that a person can refer to it. And that's why we suggest, Bernie, that every home should have one, just like every home should have a Bible. Mm-hmm. Every home should have one of these books because you will have to refer to it. All of the family members will have to refer to it from time to time.
You said small enough, it's 96 pages, I understand. But each page is filled with thoughts and like a guide of daily life.
Yeah, it's all positive. Yeah. Every page is a positive page. It includes scriptures. It includes solutions to problems that we all face from time to time. And it also includes quotations from famous people on how they made it, how they got over, how they didn't let the adversities in life affect them negatively, and how they pursued on.
Mm-hmm. I see on page 55, it says, respect life and act as a deterrent of unnecessary killing. We must help stop the rash of unnecessary murder of innocent people in our community. Well, you got that in big, bold letters. And Grace Chapel Ministries is endorsing that. Why did you put those in bold letters on that page?
I put it in bold letters because what we are noticing is that young people, 70%, the recent study done by the St. Louis Committee on Crime Prevention said that 70% of the murders that occur in this city, and this city is among the top 10 cities in the country and has been for years, are murders that occur by people under the age of 25. So a lot of young people never get a chance to become whatever God has in store for them because they end life or take life or are victims of murders early on.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about Grace Chapel Ministries. Who are you and what do you do?
Well, Grace Chapel Ministries was founded as a ministry for the have-nots, as a ministry for the down and outers, or the ministry for people who need to transition, and we have always helped those who can't or who are not presently helping themselves. Mm-hmm. So if that includes a food pantry, if that includes housing relocation, if that includes job, if that includes drug prevention, we do all of those kind of things.
I noticed that the last time I saw you, when you were actually in a church, you had a church on the south side, but it burned down, so you never rebuilt that?
You know what? boy, it really hurts my heart every time we talk about that situation, because we were the first non-Catholic church in the United States that was allowed to purchase a vacant Catholic church building, the former St. Henry's the Emperor building in the country.
Right.
And of course, we started our particular ministry, and you know where the location of that ministry is in an area that was being rebuilt as one of the fashionable areas of the city. But of course, in that same area, we catered to a lot of people who were going through transitional situations. So we had the worst of the worst, and we converted the lower level into a homeless shelter. We were, as a matter of fact, when Vince Shamel became the mayor, we became one of the first 25 charter board members when focus was really put on helping the homeless, because of the work we were doing with homeless people right there. And we used to visit hospitals, and every hospital has a food service department. They serve lunch and dinner, and we would show up at the end of lunch and at the end of dinner and get all of the leftovers and bring them back to the shelter. And the same thing with independent restaurants in town, like Hooters, for instance, the chicken. We would go over to those places and bring home. So our homeless people were eating good. They were eating good as they transitioned into a newer life.
Yeah. I know you always supported, you were a support, an advocate for the homeless and an advocate for the poor and so forth. You've always become an activist. Let me read this. It says here, he was many achievement honors and continues to work with numerous community head organizations such as NAACP, the National Urban League. He continues to function as the president and co-founder of Grace Chapel Ministries. Reverend Dr. Larry A. Brown is an ordained minister, a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, and a Prince Hall Mason. So these are just some of the achievements that you've done, Reverend Brown. But you continue to move on. What keeps you going?
Well, Bernard, I'll put it this way. If we can't do something to help humankind while we're here, then why are we here? Unfortunately, it appears that in these days and times, people put a lot of emphasis on achievements and material things, but our interest has always been on helping people to help themselves so that God can use them to accomplish the purpose for which they're here.
How can one purchase and where can one purchase the new book?
Well,
the
new book, I'm glad you asked. The new book became available at the end of May of this year and is available at all the major bookstores like Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You can go online or you can contact our ministry and contact me personally. I certainly have access to the books, but you can get them anywhere in the country.
And how can we access you? How can we get to you?
You can call me at 314-995-5013.
That's too fast.
314-995-5013.
Okay.
That's our ministry number. And you can also send us an email at our website is www.gracechapelministries.org, or you can contact us by email at gracechapeldevelopment@gmail.com.
That's good. And if they want to purchase a book from you, they're able to do that also, right?
They can purchase a book from me, or they can purchase a book just by going online to Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
And Reverend Brown, you're still helping people. Can they also call that number to get help from your ministry? 24/7.
We like to say that we're always available, and the needs of our customers or our clients or people that contact us are primary to us. They supersede any personal needs that we might have.
It's Reverend Larry A. Brown, and we'll be right back with Reverend Brown after this. Don't forget now, we're at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, 63114. And we need your help and support. Reverend Larry Rice has been here almost 50 years now, providing services for those in need. 2428 Woodson Road, Overland, Missouri. Bring some food, clothing, underwear, items of shaving and so forth. We need those. Water. 2428 Woodson Road, Overland, Missouri. We'll be right back.
With God, all things are possible. When I go on a daily prayer walk, often it seems like it's totally impossible that a great revival could take place if I see house after house. I can pray right now, Lord, let your revival unfold. Let those in this house and the houses all over our community come to know you, Jesus. This morning as I walked, I went to an area where a man had been killed, and I prayed for all the violence in our community. I believe that God is a miracle-working God. We can begin to pray for revival. We can come up in the name of Jesus against all the violence in our community. We can pray that His love will move in a great and mighty way. It's happened in the past, and it can happen now. Let us begin to pray for revival. In order for that to happen, we have to be revived. We have to ask the Lord to forgive us. We need to forgive others, and we need to let His grace and power and love flow in us and through us. This is the hour. The Spirit of God wants to move across to our community. Let's go to Him in prayer. Let's let the Holy Spirit work in us and through us, and let's watch Him do exceedingly on what we can even ask or think.
New Life Evangelistic Center is going to be celebrating 50 years of service to the homeless and poor throughout our communities. January 22nd is going to be a special night kicking off a whole year of celebrating God's faithfulness and His work through New Life Evangelistic Center. We want you to celebrate with us. Please call 314-421-3020 or go to newlifeevangelisticcenter.org for more information. God is so good. He has been working through New Life for so long, and we want you to be a part of the next 50 years. But let's celebrate together as a community, celebrating God's work through this ministry. You have been a big part of that. We want you to celebrate with us, so please join us for this amazing, historic celebration of God's faithfulness through New Life Evangelistic Center. Join us today.
Welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. Our guest is Reverend Dr. Larry A. Brown. He has a brand new book. It's called Thoughts for a Positive Life. And on channel book page number 20 and 21 it says, it's not too late. I have some important news for you today. It's not too late for you to be great. Tell us about why you wrote that. It's not too late, Reverend Brown, and what it means.
Well, Bernie, I'll put it this way. Every day is an opportunity for us to do something to further mankind along. It appears that these days and times, people are operating more and more and more under the jungle law of survival philosophy, as opposed to the golden rule, which is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And we encourage people to use the latter, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Because when you do something good for somebody, you can see the immediate results and you feel good yourself. It's a win-win situation. When before, do you remember a long time ago in Italian history, the philosophy of do unto others before they do unto you was spread around by some of the people, and it suggested that people are going to rip you off or do something negative to you if you allow them, and if they're around you long enough. We don't believe that. We believe that people are creatures of habit, and therefore in our book we even talk about the notion that as a man thinketh, so is he, or as a person thinks, so that is the way that they act. And we have a program right now in schools aimed at changing the behavior in our communities, because now it's a survival of the fittest, and that is why we see so many murders and crimes and people taking advantage of others and giving no care for life as it exists. And so we are starting with high school seniors, and hopefully over the years it will invade the total community so that people realize and respect human life, first of all, and try and be of an assist rather than be of a hindrance, or certainly rather than take advantage of. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. On page 34 of your book, it says, no matter what, life is worth living. Explain that.
Well, what it really means is that a lot of times we go along and we ignore situations that are right in front of us that are wrong. We even agree that they're wrong, but we even say to ourselves as justification for non-action or rationale for non-action, what can I do about it? What can I do to change things? What can I do to help? Or I might put myself in jeopardy if I step in to try and do something. All of those are reasons not to participate, when in fact, if we adopt an attitude that says, what can I do? What can I do to help the situation? Then we will discover a lot of things that we can do without jeopardizing ourselves or our community. And any help is better than no help at all.
You're an educated man, you're a minister, you're an ordained minister. Your sister is the president of the Harris Stowe State University Alumni Association, Shirley Brown. And I know you so well, I hope you don't mind me calling you Larry.
Not at all.
But why did you choose the ministry? And you could have done anything you wanted to do. You could have been in corporate America, but you chose the ministry and you chose to help people. And why? Well, what pushed you to that?
I'd like to say that I listen to God's voice, and if someone had not helped me and continued to help me along the way, then where would I be? If I can do anything to help somebody else, I will certainly be all right. And as you have been able to realize, I've been all right myself. The Lord has taken care of me throughout it all. Yes, I could have been. You know, I was the region's first minority stockbroker, and I helped minority businesses get started, arranged some of the original financing, produced the first expo, Black Expo in St. Louis, produced the first minority business directory in St. Louis, which is still in the public libraries, so I understand. But it's not about me, it's about we.
And you also were a promoter, Bumping Brown Sugar. I remember that very, very well.
Oh, yes, and some of those young ladies, I'm proud to say, have gone on and made futures for themselves and lifted themselves out of poverty and are doing very, very well. I am very proud of them.
You also brought Alex Haley here, did you, one time?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sure.
We brought Alex Hayes. As a matter of fact, we even had an event which is torn down now. Was called the Arena for minority businesses, and we brought all of the black movie stars at the time when black movies were very popular. We brought them to the event along with Congressman Clay, who spoke, and we try to put people in touch with others as we can.
Well, you've been doing a wonderful job for so many years, Reverend Brown. Now, let me ask you this. Do you look at your book every day? Do you get something out of it yourself each day?
You know, I'm glad you asked me that question, because all of us from time to time need some encouragement. I try to wake up every day encouraged to do something positive. But when I feel myself getting weak or when I need a dose of it, I certainly refer to the book. I'm glad you asked me that question, though, for this reason. I got a call recently from a young man who's a minister who grew up in the St. Louis area, who's now out of town, but he's still young. He considers me to be one of his mentors. And he said, I am certainly glad I bought your book, because I've had 3 deaths in my family this month from COVID, and I needed the encouragement that this book has brought me to continue on, even though I'm a minister. And
one other thing, too, we got to go to a break in a few minutes, but actually less than a minute. But did COVID affect your ministry negatively at all?
CODA creates opportunities on the one hand, and it affects lifestyles on the other. It creates problems and it creates opportunities.
Okay. So once again, how can we reach you and how can we purchase the book?
You can call me directly at our ministry, 314-995-5013, or you can go on our website, www.gracechapelministries.org, or you can contact us by email, gracechapeldevelopment@gmail.com.
Briefly, how did you come up with the name Grace Chapel Ministries?
You know, my daughter, who is superintendent of schools now, she was in superintendent of schools in Jennings, and she is now still superintendent of schools out of town. But when she was a little girl, we were looking around for a church building, and she named it. She put her head up against this vacant Catholic church and could actually see the inside, imagining the inside. And so it was the inside when we finally got in. And she also named the ministry.
That's very interesting. We'll be back with Reverend Dr. Larry Brown after this.
The Bernie Hayes program is produced at NLACTV right here at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. It's our new headquarters since they closed the 1411 Locust building. We're working to get back into that building. In addition to that, trying to help so many people through a wide variety of safe houses, training programs, transportation assistance, so many ways people are getting help because of all of you that are supporting the work of New Life Evangelistic Center. Now, if you'll send a gift of $25 or more, we want to send you this special, the Bernie Hayes Show cup. And we're giving that to people. It's just a way of saying thank you. So when you send your gift, request a cup. We'll be happy to get it off to you. It's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. You can give online at nlacstl.org. Now I'm really asking all of you to join us in praying. The needs are so phenomenal at this particular time. So many hurting and homeless people are contacting us daily, but we're able to help them because of each one of you that are praying, caring, and sharing at this time. Tell your families and friends about NLAC TV and get directly involved yourself.
Our Black History subject for today is Colin Powell, born in New York City in 1937. He was a professional soldier for 35 years, and during which time he held many command and staff positions and rose to the rank of 4-star general. He was commander of the U.S. Army Forces Command in 1989. His last military assignment from October 1989 to September 93 was as Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman, the highest military position in the Department of Defense. He oversaw the invasion of Panama in 1989 and Operation Desert Storm in the Persian Gulf War against Iraq in 1990 to 1991. He was the 65th United States Secretary of State, serving under the Republican President George W. Bush. His civilian awards include the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Congressional Gold Medal, the Presidential Citizens Medal, and the Secretary's Distinguished Service Award. Paul died from complications of COVID-19 on October the 18th, 2021. Colin Powell.
So many people are being left on the streets homeless all day long without anywhere to go because downtown St. Louis continues to fight efforts to reopen 1411 Locust. Yes, the downtown neighborhood organization that has continued to fight the New Life Evangelistic Center for the reopening of 1411 Locust and lobbied the Slay administration, the Cruzan administration to keep it closed and close it down must be strongly resisted at this particular time. We have a new mayor. I believe she cares about the homeless. Tashara Jones needs our support. If you'll join me in prayer over this, if you'll join me in resisting these special interest groups, if you want to believe the time for action is now, please contact me. I'm Larry Rice at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, at 63166. You can call me at 314-421-3020. I thank God for faithful viewers of Bernie Hayes, and now the time for action has come.
And welcome back. My guest is Reverend Dr. Larry A. Brown. He's the author of the brand new book called Thoughts for a Positive Life. And each page is filled with something that will inspire you and keep you uplifted doing this daily, doing each day, that's what I should say. Reverend Brown, is there something we have not talked about that you want to talk about, or a question I have not asked you that you perhaps might want to ask?
Well, yes, indeed. Right now we have a special focus And we've come up with this slogan. The Lord gave me this slogan one morning. He woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and the slogan is, "I'm alive, let me survive." And it's a slogan that we put on T-shirts, and we give them to high school seniors in the public school system.
I have one.
Oh, great, 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 great. And the notion is, give this person an opportunity to exist, to become an adult so that he or she can achieve. So we've got to stop killing. It takes a village to raise a child. It involves us loving on each other and allowing our young people to realize that we're counting on them to become responsible adults and to live and let live and grow. There are many opportunities for everybody to make it these days as a result of the struggles that we've had to go through and the demonstrations that we've had to make and the challenges that we've had to face. But now there are a lot of opportunities for our people as we become the lesser minority, and the focus is changing. So we've got to do what we can do to survive. And some systems have got to become institutionalized if we're going to make it. We've got to love on each other. We've got to realize that it's our younger people are going to become adults and that they're going to have responsibility for our community, and we're going to have to help them along the way. We ask for support too, Bernie. We need finances in order to keep this program going.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
And you can send donations to our ministry at the website. There's a way that you can contribute, www.gracechapelministries.org, or you can send us an email, gracechapeldevelopment@gmail.com, or you can call our ministry at 314-995-5013. T-shirts cost money. Staffing the needs of the young people costs money. And what we also try and do is solve any problems a young person might have until they become an adult. Family problems. If somebody in the family needs drug treatment or housing or help or a job, we provide all those kind of services throughout the experience that we have with the young person who's a high school senior.
Are the T-shirts still available also along with the book?
The T-shirts are still available, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Once again, before we go, I want to ask you the power of prayer, because I notice oftentimes when I talk to you, you start off with a prayer, and oftentimes you'll end with a prayer. What is the power of prayer?
Well, we say that, Lord, make us instruments. Lord, save us. Lord, protect us. And Lord, guide us. And Lord, keep our ears open so that we can address the needs of others. Amen.
Reverend Larry Brown, I can't tell you how much I appreciate seeing you and being with you and having you visit us here at the New Life Evangelistic Center. Once again, your phone number, please. Our number is 314-995-5013. Call anytime. Reverend Larry A. Brown, the author of the brand new book, Thoughts for a Positive Life. I'm Bernie Hayes. I want to say thank each and every one of you for listening and for viewing with us today. And don't forget to support the New Life Evangelistic Center. We're channel 24.2 on your regular television program. And now we're at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. We need your help. We need your support. And continue to support the New Life Evangelistic Center. And please, if you have not been and get your injection yet, please get vaccinated and please stay safe. Bernie Hayes, have a great day. See you next time.